This is KGW News at Sunrise.
Good morning. Thanks for getting up with us on this Saturday morning. I'm Devin Haskins. This is what we're talking about this morning on Sunrise. A 4-mile stretch of I-5 closed this morning. What you need to know to avoid getting trapped in traffic. Plus, complaints against a small town school board member accused of using students to advance her own counseling practice. But before we get to those headlines, let's check in with Daisy for a quick look at the forecast.
Hey Devin, good morning everyone and happy Saturday to you. We are enjoying a little bit of some sunshine in some areas. 58 degrees, and then as we're showing you the satellite and radar, we're starting to welcome in a little bit more of those high clouds, which will increase a little bit more of a cloud coverage for really everyone. But for the most part, it's partly cloudy, 62 degrees, and of course enjoying a little bit more of that sunshine. Temperatures right now are starting to warm up a little bit. Take a look here, 61 degrees over in King City. It says it's 70 degrees in Sherwood. We'll have to, of course, check on that. 58 degrees for West Lynn. And as we're looking a little bit more of a widespread off of the coastline, holding on to those mid-50s. And 60s are in the forecast for them. 3-day forecast looks a little like this for the Rose City. Partly cloudy skies, 81 degrees for a daytime high today, 78 for Sunday. We will start to welcome in some morning drizzle and then afternoon sunshine for Sunday. And looking at Monday, kicking off the work week strong with mostly sunny skies, 80 degrees in the forecast. 80s and 90s are actually in the forecast as well. Looking at the next 7 days, we'll show you that 7-day forecast coming up.
All right, thanks, Daisy. New this morning, Portland's major crash team has been on the scene of a deadly head-on collision along I-84. This happened in the westbound lanes just before 1:30 this morning on the freeway at 162nd Avenue. The driver of one car died at the hospital. The other driver, who was going the wrong way, was also injured. Meantime, drivers are also facing a big traffic shutdown in southwest Portland. A 4-mile stretch of I-5 is closed in both directions all the way until 5 a.m. Monday morning. ODOT is warning drivers to prepare for traffic jams through the weekend. Catherine Cook has a look at what you need to know.
In southwest Portland, Interstate 5 is now closed in both directions for 4 miles and will be until early Monday morning. Neighbors like Daryl.
Yeah, it will impact me because I live right up the road here.
And Clayton.
I've been looking online at the routes to get around this closure.
Have been anticipating the closure for a while. At 9 p.m. Friday night, ODOT closed I-5 north and south between Terwilliger Boulevard and Capitol Highway.
That's going to change things.
They also closed several on-ramps beyond that 4-mile stretch. That means you won't be able to get onto I-5 south starting at the 405 ramp near downtown Portland. And for those headed north, on-ramps will close starting at Cruz Way in Lake Oswego. The reason for all this? ODOT is replacing the I-5 bridge over Southwest 26th Avenue. They've already built this new support structure. Now, crews will replace the bridge deck and pave it.
So once we get it done, it should be a nice, smooth ride over the top.
ODOT spokesperson Don Hamilton says this overpass is a high-traffic spot built back in 1959.
It's reaching the end of its useful life. It's old, it sees 100,000 cars a day, and it's not seismically resilient as we want our system to be, and it needs replacing.
To get around the I-5 closure, ODOT says there are several options. Detours include I-205, 217 to Highway 26, as well as 99W and Barber Boulevard. The key, they say, will be planning ahead and building in extra travel time.
It's going to add at least 20 minutes to my drive, probably more.
'Tis the season of summer road projects.
They're everywhere.
'Tis the season indeed. That was Catherine Cook reporting. Don't forget, we've got all the details on this closure, including the maps and the detours to help you plan your weekend. Just head to our website at kgw.com. The Hood River Bridge will remain closed until at least tomorrow after a semi-truck carrying an excavator hit part of the bridge structure Thursday, shutting it down. The Port of Hood River says it's now working with an engineering firm on repairs and plans to have the next update after a meeting tomorrow morning. For now, that means drivers looking to cross the Columbia will have to either head to Cascade Locks or the Dalles. A man is in the hospital following a shooting involving Clackamas County Sheriff's deputies. This started just before 6:30 last night when deputies responded to reports of a stolen vehicle being tracked by Portland police. Both deputies and Portland police found the vehicle at the Kaiser Permanente Sunnyside Medical Center's parking structure with 3 people inside. They say the driver then started ramming multiple police cars. A deputy then shot the driver, who was then taken to the hospital. No one else was hurt. A Multnomah County judge just handed down a stiff sentence in a series of violent crimes that started with the shooting death of a Portland man. 27-year-old Marshawn Edwards was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility of parole after 52.5 years. This all happened back in September of 2021 that Edwards walked up to the Silver Dollar Pizza Company at Northwest 21st and Gleason and started shooting. Inside, 34-year-old Jacob Knight Vasquez was shot in the back and killed. 2 other men were injured in the late-night gunfire. Edwards fled the scene and committed other violent crimes before his arrest 6 months later. A potential conflict of interest in the Woodburn School District is causing outrage amongst some of the staff there. They claim the board chair violated ethics when she started offering therapy services to students. They say board chair Nomi Legaspi, who's also a licensed therapist, began offering therapy sessions to Woodburn students in the months after she and other board members approved a $6 million state grant for mental health services. Since then, staff say she's bypassed rules which states in-house services must be provided to students before a third-party therapist is contracted. There's also been instances where staff say she solicited her therapy services at school events.
If I heard of any sort of other public official, whether that be city council, a senator, anything, who's supposed to be serving the public interest, vote on something that would increase their own salary, I think that there would be a lot of people very angry about that.
We reached out to both the school district and Legaspi for interviews. Both denied our requests. The Oregon State Ethics Commission has decided it will not launch a full probe into complaints against Governor Tina Kotek and First Lady Amy Kotek Wilson. This all has to do with the role of the first spouse. You may recall the governor came under scrutiny earlier this year for reportedly trying to create an informal office for the First Lady. The governor later said an official office was off the table and that she would seek guidance from the Ethics Commission. Well, in a 4-4 split vote, the commission decided there was not enough evidence to find the governor or the First Lady violated ethics rules.